All right, I got some juicy news for you. How about this? Gossip may be good for your health. It is true. We're not endorsing it, though. New studies suggest when people gossip to help others, their heart rates went down and they feel better to help. For example, say you gossiped about an untrustworthy coworker to warn someone about potential harm. Researchers do add mean-spirited trash talking. It is not healthy gossip. Actor Mark Wahlberg is apologizing for some 9/11 comments he made in the Men's Journal magazine. There is a whole lot more to that story. A 9/11 victim's wife hammered Mark Wahlberg for making those comments to begin with. Read about that at HLNTV.com. A homeless teenager who is inspiring so many people with her success will be at the President's State of the Union address. A Georgia mom was arrested after taking her 10-year-old son to get a tattoo inked up. The mom is charged now with misdemeanor cruelty. Police say they're also investigating the tattoo artist as well because he was so young. Back to the political front, breaking news. It turns out we're talking Casey Anthony, and it looks like she could collect $1 million for her first exclusive interview. The search for survivors aboard that capsized Italian ship could be called off soon. Ugly right off the bat. When American Idol kicked off its 11th season. Listen, love that. I mean, really? That was from the show's first stop. It was in Savannah, Georgia. Others made it through. Some of the better auditions we'll show you in about 30 minutes. We want to see life. Really, it's at a standstill in western Washington after record-breaking snowstorms dumped almost 7 inches in that area. They're not used to this. And it didn't end with the snow. To cut your energy bill, who doesn't? Well, some researchers say all you need to do is listen to your house. Gary Tuckman explains how in today's Start Small, Think Big. Rochelle, on this gruesome story. First, a severed head. Now other body parts are turning up in the hills near the famous Hollywood sign. Police found also in the letter, Vandersloot hinted that he may be appealing his murder conviction. He was sentenced last week in Peru for the brutal attack and murder of Stephanie Flores. New York City may start using heat-seeking scanners to see who's carrying a gun. It's similar to infrared imaging, but police want them to pick up weapons as far as 80 feet away. The NYPD says it wants to protect cops without putting you through a pat-down. Well, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg says he wants to get guns off the streets altogether, and the alternative is intolerable. Rochelle, are you or maybe a loved one in the military? Well, HLN money expert Clark Howard says there is free help for military members watching their credit score. Being kicked out of her home on Christmas Eve must have seemed like the end of the world for a 17-year-old Samantha Garvey and her family. But when she became, he is testing out the new legs in Iowa. Then he'll introduce that technology to help other amputees.
Pleasure.
Well, Casey Anthony, it appears, could get $1 million for her first exclusive interview. Now, the offer comes. Drastic changes in the school day are leaving parents really scrambling. And the cuts don't stop there. Music, art, gym, to name a few, those programs have also been cut for students in kindergarten through 5th grade. The district says financial problems and poor academic performance forced it to make those decisions. Some parents are not blaming the school district. They're mad at voters who refused to pay a levy that would have increased funding for schools. We want to hear. We're switching gears. If you saw it last night, you know some contestants knocked it out of the park when American Idol kicked off its 11th season last night. Listen to a few. Just kind of speechless there. She was really good. The first stop was in Savannah, Georgia. Next, it is Pittsburgh. We'll have those highlights for you tomorrow. We all make mistakes, right? So should we forgive Mark Wahlberg and move on? The actor is doing some damage control after saying he would have saved a 9/11 flight if he were on board that plane. Now, even he says his comments were ridiculous. Welcome back to HLN. Actor Mark Wahlberg's new movie, Contraband, it is a hit in theaters. Well, his recent comment, all right, wait until you see the homecoming sergeant Ben Tomlinson got. It was huge. Even he couldn't believe it. And he is pretty amazing. Nothing he can't do. Sergeant Tomlinson says he plans to go back to college now that he's home. Speaking of military veterans, one is dedicating her life to helping other female vets get back on their feet. Barbara Marshall says she knows all too well what it feels like to almost lose everything. She is today's breakthrough woman. Listeners in Louisiana are giving back. They're giving people their freedom by putting old wheelchairs back together. The hope here is that the person getting the wheelchair is not the only one whose life is changing. Stephanie Ryan with affiliate WBRZ has this great story. They're helping so many people by rebuilding those chairs. Our thanks to Stephanie Ryan with affiliate WBRZ. Breaking news today, Texas Governor Rick Perry quits the race for the Republican presidential nomination and supports a former competitor. Virtual standstill in western Washington after record-breaking snowstorms dumped almost 7 inches in the Seattle area. They are not used to it there. It didn't end with the snow, though. Freezing rain then turned everything into a sheet of ice, making all travel extremely treacherous. It even shut down the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport for quite a while. Thelma Gutierrez is live ugly right off the bat when American Idol kicked off its 11th season last night. We love this part. Police officers, coroners, investigators, and a SWAT team are now combing through the Hollywood Hills looking for evidence tied to body parts found in a park there. Find out more about this and try to solve it. Tonight, Jane Velez Mitchell has an exclusive interview with one of the hikers who found that severed head near the Hollywood sign. Don't miss it. Issues tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on HLN. Rochelle.